Just started learning Spanish? In today's beginner lesson, I, Mariana from Spring Spanish, will show you how to build tus primeras oraciones en español, plus sample sentences you may steal from us so you can start using them in conversations right away. Here's your first easy sentence. The basics. Yo soy mexicana. This is a useful sentence to introduce yourself in Spanish. Now, what's the structure? Yo equals I. Both in English and Spanish, these are personal pronouns and they are our subject. Soy equals am. Both are a verb to be conjugated in the first person singular. Mexicana equals Mexican. Both are adjectives and our complement. They say something about the subject, in this case, about me. You could replace mexicana with something else, like yo soy alemana, yo soy china, or even yo soy abogada. The following sentences follow the same pattern, but with different personal pronouns. Tú eres estadounidense. Ella es colombiana. Nosotros venimos de Venezuela. Ustedes vienen de Irlanda. Ellas estudian español. Pronouns may be omitted in Spanish. Here's another one about myself with a slightly different structure. Tengo 31 años. Can you tell what the structure is? Tengo equals I am. This is our subject, I, and the verb, am, combined. More on that in a second. 31 años equals 31 years old. This is our complement because it is saying something about the subject, I. You might be thinking, why isn't she saying soy 31 años if she just said that soy means I am? Well, that's because in Spanish, age is something you have, not something you are. And tengo comes from tener in the first person singular. No hay una regla gramatical para esto. That's just the way things are said in Spanish. And this is why learning Spanish through chunks is so important and will definitely make your life easier. If you want to learn more chunks like this, download our free Essential Spanish Chunking Kit, which gives you the most important chunks you'll need every day. The link is in the description. Now, what I want you to focus on here is that, strictly speaking, there is no subject in the sentence tengo 31 años because I'm omitting the pronoun yo, and we said that's our subject, right? First of all, saying yo tengo 31 años is also grammatically correct, but it is much more common to leave out the pronoun yo. This is something that happens very often in Spanish, and the reason is that la conjugación nos dice de quién estamos hablando. So we don't need the pronoun anymore. A little note here, things are very different in English. Since almost all pronouns conjugate the same, I eat, you eat, we eat, and only he, she, it conjugate differently, most of the time it's very difficult to tell who you're talking about si no mencionas el pronombre personal. In this case, tengo always and only goes with yo, but the sentence structure is essentially the same. Implicit yo, subject, tengo, verb, 31 años, complement. The exact same thing happens in the following examples. Tienes fiebre. Tenemos hambre. Tienen ganas de viajar. Tiene muchísimo sueño. Usted tiene muchas ganas. These sentences use the verb tener, which usually means to have, but it could also mean to be or to want. How do you know when to use which? It always depends on context. It's difficult to give rules for this, so your best bet is to listen to a lot of native Spanish speakers to get used to the sentence structure and learn the chunks they use by heart. lots of examples. Now, como predico con el ejemplo, it's time to listen to a native Spanish speaker, aka me, saying a lot of Spanish sentences. To make this a bit more useful, let's go over 10 sentences that will come in handy when talking to a native speaker for the first time. Mi nombre es Mariana. Tengo 31 años. Nosotras venimos de México. Ellos hablan alemán. Tú quieres aprender español. Ustedes ven nuestros videos. Tenemos mucha suerte. Ella vive en Inglaterra. Yo trabajo con Spring Spanish. Tiene muchísimo frío. By the way, you will find flashcards for all these examples in our inner circle. To find out more about it, follow the link in the description. Based on what we've covered today, let's do a quick recap. So, what's the basic sentence structure in Spanish? Sujeto, verbo, complemento. As in, yo soy mexicana, or venimos de Inglaterra. There's a subject in these two sentences. The difference is that it is implicit in the second one. Nosotros is hidden inside the verb venimos. So, the subject, when it is there, is followed by a verb, soy or venimos, and the verb is followed by a complement. Pretty straightforward, right? I know there was a lot to take in, so there will be no quiz. Instead, there will be some homework. Try to tell the structure in the following sentences. Write your answers in the comment section and I will be happy to provide you with feedback. Yo como pizza. Ella vive en Inglaterra. Tenemos hambre. Tienes fiebre. Ellos vienen de Alemania. With these sentences, you are well equipped to start speaking Spanish. ¿Ves? El español no es tan difícil después de todo, ¿cierto? To prove this point even further, I now want to teach you las 5 reglas gramaticales más importantes del español. You must know these rules when speaking Spanish and how they are actually quite easy if you learn them through chunks. The first rule is, click on the image you see on screen to find out now.